Hello and welcome to ProtoBalls Talk. I'm ProtoMet.
This is a gathering of more than 3 people. I'm afraid we're going to need to spread out.
Yeah, I see.
Coronavirus says we can't all be together in the same room. So, see ya.
And once again, we have kidnapped Tank to satiate our sadistic desire to have him talk about this movie. Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Operative word on kidnap.
Oh, you should probably ungag him.
Nah. I'm not going to.
Fine, I will. Switchblade.
Ass.
Also, here's your back. Yes, it is Friday the 13th once again, so we are covering another Friday the 13th movie. Part 2.
On Friday the 13th. Oh, what a shocker. Never heard this before.
They never saw it come. No one ever saw it coming.
I thought we mentioned it the last time we were doing
No
it.
one ever saw it coming.
So anyway, how's life, both of you?
Fine.
I'm dying, slowly but surely.
I did a live stream.
Me too.
I did a live stream earlier today. World of Horror should be on YouTube eventually.
You never did give me the link to that Doctor Who stuff.
No, I didn't.
So anybody who's wondering why that wasn't in the description of the last video, that's why.
Never sent it. It's a mystery. It's in the void.
I did include links to the other stuff that we talked about at the end of that video. But
It's a mystery. It's in the void. Forever forgotten.
Are we sure it's just not in the cloud?
But anyway, we should probably
Shut your whore mouth.
So anyway, we should probably get to the topic. Friday the 13th, Part 2. How many times have I said that before we are
1980, by the way. 1980. One.
Yes, with the surprise success that Friday the 13th brought, they decided to make a sequel.
For reasons.
Yes.
For the Raisin brand.
For the good of the brand. So, Friday the 13th Part 2. I'd argue it's the better movie out of the two.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. I believe it is better, but it has its flaws in its own right.
It hasn't.
I kind of like both of them equally. But we'll get into the specifics as we actually get to talking about the movie, which opens with a recap of the end of the previous movie, complete with Pamela Voorhees explaining her reason for why she's killing people, which is...
My son died.
And now I'm going to kill people. Pretty much.
Sort of, that's just sort of life, you know?
Get her...
Lose a son or two, go mad, kill a bunch of people.
Stab a dude in the willy.
Stab a dude in the willy.
Steve Christie got stabbed in the willy.
No! No.
His great Woody Woodpecker.
See, I figured we'd be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we
Christie never saw it coming, especially when he was walking up to this lady.
But so yeah, we get Pamela's explanation for why she was killing in the previous movie. We get the dream sequence where Jason pulls Alice into the lake.
And then Alice
waking up in a hospital. And then Alice wakes up from her memories, I guess, because she was taking a nap
Memories.
at the beginning of this movie, which...
Reasons.
I think it's a few months after the events of the
Yes,
previous movie.
Is it about 3 months afterwards?
So she gets a call from her mom.
Surprisingly well adjusted after seeing all of her friends get killed.
Yeah, but, not so well adjusted that she can't live with her mom, which is actually why her mom calls her. She keeps trying to convince Alice to come back, but she's like, no,
She's got to cope on her own.
Yeah, which... Good on her. Good on her.
It's crooked. Fix it.
No, it's not crooked. It's missing the kids.
I know, and it's that, too.
That sucks.
Yeah, but I assume it's for, likeness reasons. For context, I have a poster of the Friday the 13th movie poster, minus all the credits, and it's missing the kids that are on the...
Kevin Bacon sued. He was like, I want that. I want my picture off of that.
Yeah, so it's completely lacking the 5 counselors that are on the poster that you probably saw in the previous Friday the 13th podcast we did.
Sure.
Wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll shut up.
No, keep talking. That's why we invited you.
Is that why we invited him? Is that... I don't know.
Yes.
I just know you're gonna chloroform me again and put me in the closet like last time.
Well, that's assuming we even let you leave in the first place.
Yeah. So
I
anyway...
can overpower both of you.
Yeah.
I don't know, Lucas might give you a tough time.
No, I'd cower away right away. It's like, oh, no, I don't want to. He pile drives you. I was like, oh, man. This was all his idea.
Is it like the fat kid video when he's getting bullied?
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a video of a kid, of this big dude, of this big kid, big elementary school kid, and these other two kids who are smaller than him keep bullying him and harassing him. He finally has enough, and he picks up one of the kids, like he's nothing. Picks him up
And just eats him.
and just fucking power bombs him.
Yeah, I've
Power,
seen that.
power bombs him neck first,
Oh,
Yeah,
like
he
onto
is
the
weird.
pavement.
oh.
And the kid gets up and he's like,
He kind of went into
Yeah,
a
careful.
dark
That
mode.
chair you're on is not the
they
stablest.
gave me the shit chair. Should have given him the shit chair.
I need more chairs.
He's the hostage. Should have given him the shit chair.
Well, then he would have complained even more.
So anyway, she makes coffee.
First, she takes a shower for like a minute.
Not even.
Then she
I'm-
makes,
Seconds?
I'm rounding up. It's a very quick shower. And
it's a brisk shower, if you say.
Her hair's not even wet.
then she decides she wants to go make coffee, which went so well the last time.
I mean, she didn't die the last time.
Oh yeah, she dies this time, but not before opening her fridge and finding a severed head.
Dude, spoilers.
You said it first, not me.
I said she doesn't. At least she did. Hold on. Time out. Okay?
Can't we all just go and get tacos?
I said she makes coffee. Yes. I said she makes coffee, and then you said it went so well for her the last time. And then I said, well, she lived the last time.
Yeah, spoiling the fact that she dies. I was just talking about the fact that it took so goddamn long.
That didn't spoil anything. If anything, that spoils the last movie that she survives.
Which we're already talking about in retrospect.
Speaking of, we had this conversation the other day about characters dying in the prequel and then coming back in the original movies, and it's never explained how they survive. It's just, hey, I'm alive. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about what happened before.
That was all a hypothetical situation. Nothing actually happened. It was more a conversation about how when you watch a prequel of a movie and you see a character that you know is going to die in one of the later set movies, you're like, oh, this guy's going to live. And then they go through so much peril knowing full well that they're going to live because you've seen the movie that they die in that happens later.
I offered an alternative twist, actually killing off the character and not explaining how they come back.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent plot twist type
It's just,
deal.
hey, I'm alive! How'd you survive? Hocus pocus story, man.
Next scene.
So, getting back to the severed head in the fridge that we were talking about.
It's Pamela.
It's Pamela's head.
And then just some dude.
And then Alice just screams, and then she stops screaming when an ice pick goes into her skull.
And then we get the next scene.
Then we get the next scene.
Well, at least he was kind enough to take the coffee off the burner.
I was going to say.
He wants to murder. He doesn't want to start a house fire.
A few years later.
He's not a house. He's not an arsonist. Come on.
But who is this we were referring to? We'll get to that. Don't worry. Stop worrying.
I'm worried.
Stop worrying. Stop worrying. It'll be fine.
Don't make me sneeze on you.
Don't make me cough at you.
You bitch. All right.
Yeah.
A true
Two
stand.
can play this game, and three are playing this game.
Oh God. It's a Mexican standoff.
No, actually, I'm referring to this Pro ZD video where he's got like a knife and a mustache. He's like, two can play at this game, and he puts the knife down. He picks up a board game. Three can play at this game. Puts it down. Picks up another board game. Four can play at this game.
Okay.
This is Brass Me Throw Knife Man's Game Reviews. Oh, go watch that. That's funny.
Okay.
I didn't think so.
Your
Anyway.
little skit wasn't funny.
Well, it wasn't my skit. It was somebody else's skit.
Probably
Okay,
we-
I was just paraphrasing it.
Oh, you're a bad paraphraser.
So anyway, we see these bunch of adult kids. Adult kids.
Probably in
Two
their
of them. A
20s.
bunch of two of them
A bunch of two of them.
in a truck.
And
My God. And they're pulling up into the small town of Crystal Lake.
Yep. That they are.
They were on the drugs.
On the drugs.
All the drugs.
All of them.
Cocaine, weed, crack.
No,
heroin.
they're not on anything. They go to a payphone to make a call to a guy named Tom.
What are you talking about? They were clearly on Adderall.
You're on Adderall.
No, I'm not. I'm on Concerta.
Okay. So am I.
Actually, I don't take Concerta anymore. He's hit. Oh God.
I do though.
We better get the plot moving. He's around ready to beat us.
Anyway, the two teenagers go to a payphone to call some guy named Tom, and while they're trying to get directions from Tom, a tow truck comes by and tows their truck away. So they have to go chase it. Turns out it was a prank being played on them by Tom.
Can we kill this Tom?
Turns out the guy who had towed the truck was a friend of his.
Yeah.
And this guy, he's clearly going to die.
Oh yeah. I forget.
Like, it is so obvious that this character is being set up to die. He is the funny one.
Yeah.
So obviously he's going to die.
I can't remember his name.
Tom.
Oh, Tom.
Tom.
I said it how many times?
Tom to Tom, Tom, Tom to
Tom.
But
Tom.
You said this was Tom's friend.
No, I said Tom's friend is the one who towed the
Oh,
truck.
yeah.
Tom lives in Crystal Lake.
Yes. That's why he could get in good with the guy who owns a tow truck.
Because he was going to give him the cocaine.
Tom's not the funny one. Tom's the leader.
I'm pretty sure Tom.
No, that's Paul. Paul is the
Oh,
leader.
Paul. Right. Okay, Tom.
Ha!
Okay.
For once, my memory actually was beneficial to me. Instead of being
No,
the
I'm
terror.
the one that said Paul, not you.
Well, I remembered that it was Tom.
Fuck you. bitch.
That's what I was referring to.
So anyway, they're driving their way to Crystal Lake.
All three of them now.
All three.
Tom
of them.
included.
Yep.
Tom included, the funny one, the one who is set up to die, who looks like a geek.
Totally.
More geekier than Lucas. I mean, ProtoMet. I mean, fuck!
That's-
I've doomed us all!
Way to go! Now it's not like I haven't done it already.
You flipped open a hole in the space-time continuum and let free Cthulhu. Congrats.
Wow, Cthulhu looks a lot like Sonic the Hedgehog. Crazy, isn't it?
What?
I'm referencing the plot of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Please shut the fuck up.
It was a good movie.
Shut the fuck up. Let's go.
You're just jealous you didn't get to go.
Not
'cause of
really,
work.
not really. I watched football instead. That was a much better time.
That's debatable, but that's a different topic.
So then we got to another scene of somebody driving down the road, and we're met.
I think at one point we actually while they're making the call to Tom before their truck gets towed, Ralph shows up, and he tells them they're doomed.
The others didn't believe me.
Now they're dead. We're all going to die. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember what he says. All doom and gloom shit.
Crazy Ralph says crazy Ralph shit.
Yeah.
His wife let him out.
For whatever reason, I guess it was time for his walksies.
He was on a bicycle.
It was time for his bike ride. After all, we do catch him riding his bike.
Oh, does he ride his bike in this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought he would rode
He
his bike.
almost gets run over by...
Oh yeah, that's later
He
though.
almost gets run over by Jenny.
For this time, my memory failed me, so it all evens out. See, there's balance in the universe.
I still broke that hole in the time continuum. We're still fucked.
Yeah.
Sure.
So anyway, the two teens whose names we couldn't be bothered to remember for whatever reason, and Tom, they had to what's it called? It's like a training area for camp counselors. It's not Camp Crystal Lake.
No.
Because they do find the sign for that in the woods.
Something Bosco.
And Tom basically is like, yeah, no, you don't want to go there. Trust me. Let's just get to...
Oh, yeah. So Tom's just like, no, we're moving. Moving on. Don't ask about it.
Don't ask. We're moving on.
He knows things.
Well, he lives in the town, so...
He knows things!
Calm down, Ralph. Calm down. I deserve that. I deserve that light tap on the arm with a cane. Very light tap. Didn't even hurt. Broke my wrist, but didn't hurt.
He doesn't say what the place is, so... We're just gonna call it Crystal Lake Camp Counselor Training Ground.
I'm just gonna call it counselor training.
How about Camp Crystal Lake 2?
Electric Boogaloo?
Yes.
CCL2. Electric Boogaloo. CCL2. I like that.
CCL2? Okay.
Yeah. Let's face it, this is basically Camp Crystal Lake double the second.
Yes,
Camp Crystal Lake Zeta?
No, it's Camp Crystal Zeta Lake.
Oh, okay. That way it's better.
Hey, we're not talking about Gundam now.
Why not? That show's awesome. You really need to watch the DVDs that the Blu-rays that I've let you. Sorry, I misspoke.
Technically,
so
the same
Crazy
thing.
Ralph is riding his bike.
Yeah,
yep.
But the couple and Tom, they make it to the place,
yep.
And Paul starts giving his whole spiel while a red convertible is driving and nearly hits Ralph, who's in the middle of the road.
Ralph stops and like watches him move on. And
the look in his face is
just like
this bitch cut me off.
Like, obviously he's supposed to have like this look of doom and gloom, but it comes off more as
like,
bitch cut me off.
If he would have just, if there was a scene of him flipping her off while she jumped, that'd be perfect.
You crazy bitch! I hope you get fucked.
I hope you get garroted with a barbed wire.
Tactful. So anyway,
this new girl, Ginny, finally
who,
arrives at the
I just want to point out, Ginny is the best character in the entire franchise. I don't give a shit.
We'll get into why later.
Don't give me shit about Tommy Jarvis. I like Tommy. I think he's a great character. He ain't got shit on Ginny.
But Tommy's totally going to die. Did you not see him?
Yes.
Earlier in this movie?
Yes.
Also, I did not know his last name was Jarvis. Weird.
Shut the fuck up.
Are you legitly didn't know it was Tommy Jarvis?
I know who Tommy Jarvis is. It was a joke because there's a movie in this. There's a character in this movie named Tom.
Oh yeah.
Tom's the best, worst character, most set up to die character in this.
Yeah.
Well, him and the perv. I can't even remember his name.
The fucking perv. Hold on.
Like, he tries to come off as, like, a ladies' man-like character with that look in his eye, but he's...
Honestly, he looks like a grown-up version of Josh from Drake and Josh.
But more pervy.
Yeah.
Even more pervy. Like, way more pervy. Like, Josh, Okay.
Okay, it's Scott.
Scott.
The pervy Scott.
Scott.
And then we get the second best character of the movie, Mark.
He's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's awesome.
Yep.
Mark's great.
He's an athlete, even though he's in a wheelchair. You can be an athlete in a wheelchair. And
the best thing about Mark is he has a fucking stalkerish chick after him. Vicky has no fucking qualms about what she wants.
She knows
it's not really much of a stalker if she's very upfront about it.
Stalkers can be upfront.
It's true, they can.
Right, but she's much more forward.
Yeah, she
now,
wants...
Scott, he's more stalkerish.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Well, with him
He's creepy.
Well, with him using a slingshot on another girl's butt.
Okay, talking about that quickly, I just want to point out a bit of a goof in that one. So Scott shoots the left butt cheek, and she grabs the right butt cheek in pain.
What's her character's name, by the way?
Terry.
Terry.
The name is Terry.
All right.
With a Y.
Blasphemy!
Tyrrry? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terry.
Terry.
Sounds like Tyrion.
Terry.
Yeah, I figured as much.
We're gonna forget her name in 5 minutes. Anyway.
Probably.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there's another reason why Mark is the best character in this movie, but we'll get to that.
Yes. So
Yeah.
everybody gathers around as Paul starts doing his spiel. Ginny finally shows up, and Paul is upset with him because she's the assistant counselor.
Yeah.
Why
She
are you
does-
late?
She does have a decent excuse, what with her car failing to start initially. So
Probably one of my favorite scenes is actually when Paul tries to help fix the car. Jenny gets the car to start, and he gets the smoke in his face.
because she uses her child psychology to get him to fix her car for her.
Yeah. So she's a child psychologist, apparently.
And as Paul explains in his little speech, that everybody's gathered there to basically do training for camp counseling jobs. They're not actually going to be counseling any kids at this retreat. It's training for being counselors.
Yeah.
And a lot of them already are counselors, so it's really more like remedial or refresher lessons for some of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it was like I said earlier, CCL2, CCZL.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we'll just go with CCL2.
CCL2.
Is a is more of a training ground than an actual camp.
Although
It is set up like a camp though.
it just so happens to be placed like
On the same lake as
Yeah, Camp Crystal.
not even just on the same lake, like
The same block or
Like,
something.
same forest.
yeah, like about like you go about a football field's length that way, and you're at Camp Crystal Lake. You can't miss it. Like it's right there, right next to them.
Yeah, like maybe try to find another place to do your work, but budget.
Oh well.
Hey, they already got the killer last time. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then that night,
Paul started telling.
Paul actually tells the story of what happened at Camp Crystal Lake because he knows that the rumors have been flying around. He explains what happened, how a boy drowned in the lake, how his mother went mad and ended up killing some people, and then and then the sole survivor of that ended up falling out of her boat, claiming that she got pulled under by Jason.
And then she went missing.
But that was years ago, which establishes that this takes place years after the opening scene.
Keep talking. I'm gonna.
And then they get attacked by a man in a
The loincloth.
loincloth, wielding a spear. It's Tom wearing a mask. Just messing with him. Paul was in on the joke. He's like, okay. It's all fun and games. But now that we've got that out of their system, I don't want to hear any talk about Camp Crystal Lake. You guys aren't allowed to go there. Stick around on the property.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let's all get some sleep. So then Jenny starts heading to her cabin to get ready for bed. And Paul follows her in and do a little smoochy time.
And then somebody's watching them. Ralph.
Pervert! Wait, no, that's Ralph, not the pervert. Scott's the pervert.
Scott is a pervert. But Ralph's also a pervert because he's peeping.
He's a people.
Obviously, he's peeping.
Packanack Lodge.
Packanack Lodge.
Not only that.
I'm not gonna remember that.
CCL2.
Yeah.
So, let me think for a second here. So, this takes place, according to the official timeline, this takes place in 1984, approximately.
Yeah, You say official, but it's more like a fan timeline.
Official timeline.
The unofficial official timeline.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, this takes place 1984. So this is Thursday.
The 12th.
Thursday the 12th. And so after the campfire, Ginny and Paul are talking.
And Ralph's peeping on them.
And they start making out. And Ralph is like, "Goddamn bitch, I'll get her."
And then he gets garroted with barbed wire.
Wait, no! This isn't how I saw my plan!
Hey.
No! I wasn't the one who was to be garroted with barbed wire. It was the girl!
Ah, cruel irony!
Oh, wait, let me take my pants off.
Come on, dude. No.
We did make that joke while watching it, though, so...
No.
No.
Come on.
That's not right.
No.
So yeah, Ralph's dead.
So was it the choking or the barbed wire that killed him?
Yes.
Well, there was bloods. Well, it was probably a both situation.
I'm gonna say the barbed wire because it probably punctured his
Jugular? Yeah, probably.
Little column A, little column B. So yeah, Ralph's dead. Way to kill off one of the best characters in the franchise.
That's okay. It establishes that nobody's safe.
Yeah.
Although Alice's death really sort of.
Yeah, but movies pull that kind of shit all the time. And look at how Drew Barrymore got top billing in Scream, and she got offed in the first 10 minutes.
But that was intentional.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That was a purposeful misdirection.
Exactly.
I don't think Alice's actress even got top billing in this movie.
No.
Well, her name was one of the first 3 in the end credits, so.
But that was an order of appearance.
Not really.
Shut the fuck up. Let's
I'm just saying.
Keep moving.
I don't recall it saying in order of appearance.
We're half an hour in and we're not even like halfway.
Yeah, let's get more than talking about the movie.
Okay. I was talking about the movie.
So the next day comes. Everybody decides to go swimming.
Ralph is conspicuously missing from the tree that he was killed on.
Yep.
Either that or they just never bothered to look.
Well, these kids aren't that bright. Wait.
They're putting the dock in. No, wait, that was in the first movie. They're going swimming.
Yeah, they're just going swimming in this one.
You fucking dork. How could you do this to me? I told you they were going swimming.
In the wait. I was gonna say, are they swimming in the dark? Wait, no,
Okay.
that's another
so they're
scene.
Swimming, and there's a little bit of a game of I Spy going on. It's pretty funny, ha ha ha. All that sort of stuff. And Jeff and Sandra
the couple with the truck from the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
get the fucking bright idea. Oh, let's go explore Camp Crystal Lake. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, but Sandy, Tom said we shouldn't go.
Paul said we shouldn't go.
Tom and Paul said we shouldn't go.
There you go.
Tom and Paul said we shouldn't go.
Don't be a pussy.
What do you do? What are you, a chicken shit? Nobody calls me chicken shit.
So they go get Camp Crystal. So they start heading
Paraphrasing, of course.
Exactly.
So then they head to Camp Crystal Lake, and then they encounter probably the worst thing ever.
A police officer!
Oh my god!
I didn't do it, officer. She made me do it.
So the officer takes the two back to the lot, back to Packanack Lodge, and gives a stern warning to Paul.
Gives him a finger wagging to Paul. You gotta make sure your kids are doing right here,
Jenny.
And Paul just takes the officer's advice and punishes the two. Jenny, these two don't get dessert tonight.
You're not even gonna reprimand them?
Not even gonna reprimand them? No, they're adults. They can do what they want. I mean, he's got a point.
Yeah,
they're adults.
Yeah.
Instead of the teenagers that are generally in these kinds of movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're portraying adults, so no, Sandra's actor is underage.
Mm-hmm.
Which...
Yeah, that's why you didn't see no boobage in that love scene.
Which love scene?
The upcoming love scene.
Spoilers?
He already spoiled it.
Yeah, spoilers?
Whatever. People see this movie already.
Probably, yeah.
I mean,
Way before we have.
it's not like there's much trouble spoiling a 40-year-old movie. This movie is about 40 years old now.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Wow.
You're old. I'm older, so I'm older. older.
What? I mean, let's put this into perspective. Psycho is about 70 years old now. About 60 years old.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That was already considered old by the time this movie came out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd still say Psycho's a better movie.
Well, yeah, it's Psycho.
I'm just saying. Goddamn.
And doing the math, that means that Cabinet of Dr. Caligari was 60.
No. What?
Yeah, that came out in 1920.
Yeah, how was that 60 years old? Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you're trying to say now.
It was that old when this movie came out.
Yeah, Caligari is about 100 years old.
Yes, it is.
But it's 60. It was 60 when this came out.
Yes.
Give or take a few years.
Yep. Let's see.
So the police officer is driving back and he sees
He's in a huff.
He's like, damn guy just...
most unconventional.
When he spots
a figure of some sort.
Some dude. Just some dude.
Some hillbilly dude.
he goes to investigate and finds a makeshift cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Or an abandoned one.
I think it's a makeshift one. Because I don't think that toilet was connected to anything.
He just takes shits outside, dude. Just don't think about it.
I can't not after seeing that toilet.
Jason doesn't take shits.
Who's Jason? Isn't he the dead boy?
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, please, it's not like we're spoiling much. It's Jason.
It's fucking Jason.
Jason Voorhees.
I'm being facetious.
I mean, we saw Pamela Voorhees' head. It's fucking Jason.
Pretty obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Though it's weird that they never show it. Maybe he's in fact a paramedic who just was distraught over the death of his son.
Remind me of that.
We're gonna have to cover it at some point.
No, I mean, I'm fine with the movie. It's dumb, but it's the worst one out of all of them. Actually, I lied. Jason X is pretty bad.
Yeah, that is
No,
funny.
Jason X is pretty okay. Jason goes to hell.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we're all gonna have to just cover all of them, you know?
I know.
Jason X is a cherry on top of the shitty Friday the 13th Sunday.
Yeah.
Starting with 8. Jason Takes Manhattan's a terrible movie. I'm sorry.
But at least it's consistent with the rest of them.
Jason X is absolutely awful. Jason Goes to Hell is the fucking sludge.
It is the
That is the
absolute-
diarrhea of the Friday the 13th.
Don't insult diarrhea.
It's like the toxic. It's like the toxic waste from Jason Takes Manhattan.
Stop insulting toxic waste. The long story short, do not watch that movie. It is terrible.
I get what they were going for, but
God damn.
goddamn, no.
But we're not talking about Jason
We're
Goes to
talking
Hell.
about part 2. Come on.
The 2009, by the way, the 2009 remake, actually very good.
Yeah,
I have
it
not
is.
seen that yet.
It's actually very good. People will shit on it, but it's like,
But
Have you-
they can have their opinion.
yeah, they can have their opinion, but it's like, did you even watch it? It's perfectly fine. In fact, I'd say that's probably the best Jason.
Oh yeah, he's not super duper slow. He's more.
Well,
he's smart.
He's not an idiot. He
Yeah.
actually lays traps and uses people as bait.
But we're not talking about that movie. That's still like, what? That's like 11 movies after this. 10?
20 movies.
No, not 20.
No, yes.
Wait, no, man.
With 20.
Oh yeah.
With. Look at him do the math. Yeah, it's about 20 movies off.
Yep.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah. We'll explain why it's... Like, as part of just the Friday the 13th franchise...
It's about 11
It's the
movies.
12...
Yeah.
It's about 11, 10 or 11 movies off. But...
Anyway,
Okay.
Getting back to...
What were we talking about?
Jason!
Jason, yes.
He kills the cop!
Yep, with a hammer to the head.
a hammer to the back of the skull, like
the spike portion.
the claw hand.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And just the guys like
Ah!
looked like Copper from The Thing. Ah!
A little bit. Maybe not as expandy, but
No.
yeah.
Just like the facial expression of pure gruesome agony.
All right.
So after that, it's nighttime.
Everybody decides... Paul, since it's like the last night before they actually get into the real training, he offers everybody there a chance to go out on the town for the last night, if they want to.
For
Yeah.
beverages.
Go get drinks, just have a fun time. Oh, and Sandra and other guy, you're not allowed because of your little field trip earlier. They volunteered to stick around.
Yeah. And then Mark and Vicky also choose to stay because Mark wagers, I'm not going to be able to do much in town anyway.
Because
Scott
nothing worse than a drunk in a wheelchair.
Scott and Terry
I'm
also...
not saying that. I've seen drunk handicapped people.
Oh yeah,
fine.
that's what he says in the movie. He says that nothing sours a mood like a drunk cripple.
Yeah.
Like a drunk crip. God damn,
That's,
dude.
let's leave the Crips out of this.
Let's leave the Bloods out of this, too.
Well, too bad. This is a Friday the 13th movie.
Fuck! wait, you mean to tell me this movie has blood and a crip? What?
It's like dogs and cats living together. It's mass
Hysteria!
He's escaped.
Holy crap! Tanner has left the building. So yeah, 6 people stay behind while everybody else goes off to get drunk.
That was actually very hilarious. he's back in. Yeah, so 6 people are staying behind.
6 people. That's all they need. That's all Jason needs.
Who? Oh yeah, the drowned kid.
The drowning
I'm
kid.
going to continue to be facetious about it.
And you're gonna get it. You know, people like that get crowbars to the knees.
With testicles by the knees.
Ting 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 ting. Say crowbar and I just think Half-Life. Ting 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 ting.
Oh no, it's wrench. I'm sorry, with a wrench.
Oh. I don't got a Bioshock joke to go with that.
Okay, good. So yeah, so first off, let's see here, arm wrestling, Mark and
What's his face?
The second volunteer that isn't the girl. Volunteer.
Mark and what's his face? Dork kid. No, Jeff.
Jeff.
Jeff. Hat kid. The guy who has Joe's hat.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark is pretty much whipping everybody in arm wrestling.
We're not going to explain who Joe is, so...
Joe Bob Briggs?
No.
It'd be a lot cooler if he was.
Man, Joe has
that hat.
no. Joe has the worst ending ever.
But let's move on, because we're not talking about that.
Kills his friend in a boxing match, you know. Ah, man.
We're not talking about that. Stop spoiling shit.
What about you motherfucker? I will beat you on the head with this.
And I will punch you.
Fair enough.
I'll just watch the entertainment.
Why are we going at it? Why is it we hurt each other when he's around?
'Cause we love each other as brothers.
It's gay.
As brothers.
It's gross.
As brothers, it's gay.
So wait, you're both happy?
Yes. All the homo.
All of the homo.
All of the incestual homo. Perfect. That careless whisper.
Anyway, back to arm wrestling.
Are we talking about the Sylvester Stallone movie now?
Yeah.
Anyway, Mark and Jeff are arm wrestling.
Mark's beating the shit out of everybody.
And Sandy manages to convince Jeff to not have a rematch.
Hey, no rematch. Come here.
Let's
So
do
they
some
go off.
Greco-Roman wrestling.
They go off.
They go off to do whatever.
And then, the
Vicky.
other...
Vicky.
Vicky. You can tell I absolutely have memorized who these characters are.
Go on.
Vicky decides to challenge Mark to video games.
Wait, this movie has the Vicky games?
Not just video games, handheld video games.
Like the tiger.
Not the same as...
Yeah, not nearly as funny.
Nope.
Still funny, though.
My God.
My God.
I broke
what have
free
done?
from my restraints.
I forgot about that.
Why didn't you restrain him harder?
Trank gun.
You know me and my memory issues.
Who are you again?
Who am I again?
Good question.
What are you guys doing in my house?
This is a nice house you got here.
Thanks. I rented it out.
Anywho, so video games, and Mark's like, what
It's
are
like,
we...
it's like the Tiger Electronics.
Yeah, it's like
game.
Target stuff.
Yeah. It's certainly no Game Boy.
No.
Let's do hockey. Or football.
I want the one with
The
the
one with the
pucks.
puck.
The one with the puck.
Hockey? Oh, is that what it's
it
called?
Shut
She knows.
She knows.
She knows.
She's playing dumb.
Shut the fuck
She's
up,
not.
Vicky.
But she's not a blonde. So she can't be dumb.
And then she reveals that they're going to be playing for position.
Boom, boom, chicka, boom, boom.
Meanwhile, out at the lake.
She asks her what happened.
What's?
And he's like, oh, drunk driver hit me. Just
I
casual.
think that gets explained later, though.
Well, she was. It is slightly later, but not much later.
Yeah, it's...
Like, we go to the other two that are making out somewhere, then they wind up upstairs.
But first we head out to the lake where Terry decides to go take a little bit of a dip.
Skin the day out!
And then she comes back out, and her clothes are gone.
Scott!
Fuck you, Scott!
Scott's like, what's his name from the first movie? Completely irredeemable.
Oh.
You know the one I'm talking about.
The one who dressed up like an Indian?
The one who pretends to drown.
So the one who dresses up
Yes.
like an Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of irredeemable.
So it's a good thing he gets caught in a trap and ends up hanging from a tree branch.
Rope trap, yeah.
And Terry, well,
Wow, we remembered her name.
Good
for
job.
whatever reason, I wonder why. Anyway.
The nude scene?
Yes. Yes.
Look what I'm stuck with. My God. Go on.
But she agrees to cut him down, but she does get dressed first.
As you do. She didn't have a knife.
She goes to go get a knife, but it's okay. Somebody else decided to swing by with one and give Scott a little cut right across the neck.
It's not even the sharp side of the machete.
No, it's not even the blunt side of the machete. It's the broad side of the machete. No, it's not even a machete. It's just a knife.
Oh,
No.
it's a machete.
Okay. Okay, the broad side of the machete. It's like...
Like it's an oddly shaped machete.
Yeah, they make some weird looking ones out there. I've been at Menards and run a walk through and saw a Bear Grylls brand that was probably about that long. And
So Terry,
For context, Brian had his arms out like this. So that should give you guys listening to this good context for how long it was.
stop talking about my penis!
You brought it up! Anyway, Scott's
wouldn't know what to
dead.
do.
Guys.
Anyway, Scott's dead. Terry goes to get the knife, comes back, finds him dead,
Gets stabbed.
gets stabbed.
Off speed.
Then Steve stabbed a guy. I mean, a girl.
And then Steve stabbed the guy. Yep.
Oh, so that's the killer's name.
Yeah.
All right.
Steve the Killer.
Wow. I can't believe Steve Christie survived.
Steve from accounting.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
I think Steve Christie is funnier because he was actually a character in the previous movie. He's just out for revenge for his cut off dick.
He's gonna get Mark's dick.
That could be interpreted in a
No
number of
context!
ways. No context.
Not at all. Not at all.
Anyway, back with
Mark.
Mark.
Vicky's getting prepped, and Mark.
They do get into the conversation about how Mark wound
drunk
up
driver, blah blah blah.
So it wasn't his fault that, and
He does say, "Hey, I'm gonna walk one day."
Yeah,
One day.
Well, at least he has like positivity about it. At least he wants to try.
so then they kind of go their separate ways to get ready for what's about to happen.
Coital fun.
But Mark encounters somebody else.
Yep.
Steve.
From accounting. Hey Steve, how are my taxes? Good or bad?
I don't know about this machete to your face. About that. Well,
Yeah, dude gets fucking slashed with a machete.
Best death in the movie. This movie.
Best death in the franchise.
And he just starts rolling down the stairs backwards.
Miss me with that fucking fucking liquid carbon whatever shit.
Liquid nitrogen?
Yeah, miss me with that liquid nitrogen death. This is the best death.
Yeah. Just like so over the top. Just like rolling, wheelchair rolling down the stairs backwards. Mark's like flailing his arms.
And
So yeah, Mark's dead. No! He was actually one of my favorite characters in this movie.
So then,
the actress that played Vicky was attempting to actually have coital relations with him. Then she found out he was fond to the male.
And then Steve decides to enter the cabin. And he spots the fake spear that Tom was using along with the mask earlier to scare everybody during the whole explanation of the events of the previous movie. And Steve goes upstairs with his spear and decides to interrupt the two, Jeff and Sandy.
Close enough.
Sandy. Same name. Sure.
and meanwhile, Jeff is, fucking her belly button pretty good.
He's got lessons from Tommy.
But unfortunately, only one of the two is able to see what's about to happen. And she can't even get a full gasp out before the spear is plunged right through both of them.
Then Vicky goes and visits them.
She got cut in the arm, then died of dysentery.
Yeah, but what I really love is that this is the big reveal of the killer's face. If you're not counting the fact that his face is being covered up by a pillow sack.
Not a pillow sack, it's actually a potato sack.
I'm convinced that it's a pillow sack.
It's a potato sack. It's Potato Sack Jason, the best Jason in the franchise.
You can actually move.
Like the hockey mask is iconic and it's great, but come on, it's Potato Sack Jason. How could you not love it?
I prefer to play as him in the Friday the 13th video game.
It's fucking Potato Sack Jason. He can run. He's a running Jason.
He can't swim though.
You are both right. His best look. It is the best look for him. I am not going to debate that at all.
Like
overalls, flannel shirt, and a potato sack.
Yeah, like a flannel shirt.
But that does raise the question in my mind. Where do you get the outfit?
Fuck you. It's just great. Fuck you. Who cares?
No, I'm like legitimately like
Billy Jason alone.
I just as an outside observer was like, where do you get the clothes? I mean, they're really nice clothes.
I'm gonna assume they probably stole.
He stole them,
Probably.
probably. They were probably hanging up on a court.
Like, that's the most logical explanation that I can think of.
Probably.
And they fit him so well.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
if they didn't, he grew into it.
okay, this is personally, this is the second best Jason costume out of all of them. Preceded closely by the Friday the 13th NES video game version of Jason.
Well, obvious.
Well, purple. You can't be purple.
Purple jumpsuit Jason's
Like,
just...
that's just so terrifying.
My God, imagine running into him in an alley with a purple jumpsuit.
You can unlock him in the Friday the 13th.
And a sky blue mask.
And a sky blue mask. My God, it's terrible. I'm gonna have nightmares for weeks.
Oh, I gotta go. Oh, God.
Get out of here, man. He's following you.
Oh, this didn't help my nightmares.
So yeah, he kills Vicky.
Yeah, he kills Vicky. Jason
Get a
kills
nice,
Vicky.
good close-up of his bruised thumb.
Yep.
Pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
He just straight up stabs her with a knife is all.
Yep, that's all.
Then we get back to the bar, which we hadn't gone to yet. And
Well, of
everybody's
course you
partying.
don't go to the bar. You don't drink.
Tom has clearly been drinking a lot.
Tom's getting pussy.
Tom's trying.
The bartender even asks if it's okay for her to take the bottles away.
No,
Dispose
I'm collecting them.
All right, I just don't want the bar to fall over.
They're mine. And then they start talking about Jason.
Because Ginny brings it up because she's like, well, what if that little boy did survive? How old would he be? Wouldn't have any concept of death until that horrible night. What if he saw his mom get decapitated?
Well, let's see here. He drowned in, 57? So 84. He probably would have been 10 then. He's probably about 48. Maybe. Middle-aged. Middle-aged and crazy. Like Terry
She uses a different word, but okay.
like a man-child.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a man-child, especially with the current definition of that.
It's okay.
Am I wrong?
I mean, you're not wrong.
There we go.
His formity would consider him that word.
A neckbeard?
He does have a neckbeard.
What? What are you talking about? He's got a sack for a head. Don't try and lie to me.
Jason's a neckbeard confirmed. And he has long hair.
Yep.
He does.
Very long hair on
Which
one side.
Which is never established in later movies, by the way.
Yeah.
I'll get to that.
Baldo,
I'll get
pretty
to
much.
that when we cover the third movie.
Yeah.
It's like seriously, what happens to the beard and the hair? It just disappears.
He probably just shaves it off when he does stuff in the third movie.
We'll get to that when we get to that.
Yep.
But basically, the long and short of this scene is to basically firmly establish that yes, the killer in this movie is indeed Jason, and Ginny's rampant speculation about what if he survived is actually correct.
Yeah.
So then Ginny decides to go back.
And Paul decides to go back with her just to keep her safe, even though they're both drunk.
Paul drive drunk. He did a bad thing.
And Tom decides to stay back and get some of that sweet, sweet pussy.
And this is actually the last time we ever see Tom in the
Tom
entire movie.
lives!
Tom lives! The character who is most likely going to die lives! We also never see any of the other counselors.
So I guess they live too.
Yeah.
Unnamed counselors 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 live.
And I love the last moment with Tom when he asks two other bar patrons, "Is there any place else to drink?"
He's like,
Yeah.
yeah. Is there later open places? Oh yeah. Just kind of an elderly couple. Just like, oh yeah. Thank you. And he's just wasted too.
So Ginny and Paul, they get back to Packanack Lodge and.
How lucky are they, by the way? The fact that they avoid this shit happening. Imagine they wake up the next morning and they learn that about 5 or 6 people have died.
It's 6 total right now.
6 total,
Mm-hmm.
including
But
including Ralph.
they do
Yep.
find blood. Oh,
A bloody axe.
7 are dead.
They find a bloody axe.
8 are dead. The police
Kazaz.
officer.
Oh yeah, the police officer.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now it's fucking 9, but just like it within the past 2 days.
Yeah.
Past 24 hours.
They are searching the cabin, then they find a bloody axe in one of the beds.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is a striking scene. It's
What's
like,
the- there's one line Paul does say is like, he finds a joint and he picks it up, he kind of smells it. These kids smoke better weed than I do.
Astute observation, Paul.
Yep.
Plus 3 reason.
Yep.
You'll get that when you watch World of Horror.
Yeah, thanks for referencing that while I was having an existential crisis earlier this week.
Why?
Way to go.
What happened?
No, I legitimately felt like I was running out of control. But that is a topic for when we're not on the air, okay? I'll explain that later.
All right.
Come, share with the rest of the class.
We're here to have fun, not get super depressed, okay?
Alrighty, let's
If
continue.
I wanted to have fun, I would watch Schindler's List. Oh, dark.
Oh.
Shit's been thrown.
Yeah, no, not even what I was going to say could compare to that.
No.
I was going to say, if I wanted to have fun, I wouldn't be here with you guys.
Yeah, no, the Schindler's List.
Yeah, no, I was like,
Whoa.
wow.
I feel like a genuinely terrible person saying that.
You should.
I was only joking.
But you still feel bad.
Anyway, Bloody Hatchet.
Yeah, but Bloody Hatchet.
Real talk. Schindler's List is a great movie.
Yeah, it is
not fun.
No.
Not fun to watch.
No.
Ralph Fiennes, though, puts on the performance of a lifetime.
Rafe. It's pronounced Rafe, actually. Rafe Fiennes. I know it's spelled Ralph, but it's pronounced Rafe.
I'm gonna beat your fucking head in. Followed closely by Voldemort, of course. He does very well in the role. So anyway, they go keep investigating. Let's leave Schindler's List behind for a second.
Let's leave it in the past.
And they decide to have the brilliant tactic of splitting up. Now, keep in mind, this is post Scooby-Doo, which was always such a good plan when those kids did it.
It's even better here. It actually works.
Surprisingly, yes.
Aw. Paul.
Like, the way I see it, Paul just went back to the cabin and smoked some weed. He's like...
Also, at some point, a dog showed up and then went missing. We kind of forgot to mention that.
Oh, yeah.
It was Terry's dog.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even remember
I think
when that all happened.
It was Muffin, yeah.
Yeah, it's just good. I just remember it gets brought up at some point.
She went missing like that morning.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And Terry didn't seem too distraught about it.
She called for a max of 5 minutes and
she
said...
was so absolutely worried she had to take a cold bath.
What?
Skinny dipping.
The skinny dipping.
Oh, right.
That's how worried about her dog she was. She had to take a real cold bath.
Oof.
Hey, we're past that point.
I know. I'm just saying.
So Ginny
Yep.
runs into Jason. And the chase begins, and it's one of the best chases.
Honestly, if you put Betty Hill music on this, it would be hilarious.
But it's like actually good.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny.
Jenny kicks Jason in the balls and he falls over.
Yeah, I mean, for as much as we like the visual of Jason, this is him at his weakest.
Yep, just like...
Like, Ginny pulls out at one point, Ginny pulls out a chainsaw, and here's Jason like, nope, do not want.
Ow, my head.
hits him in like his hand, but it doesn't actually hurt him.
Yeah, it like deflects off of what I assume is a metal plate underneath the sleeve.
Yeah, probably.
Because I saw sparks.
Yep.
I saw sparks.
But yeah, just the...
And I know for a fact he's no Ultraman.
just the visual of Jason backing up, from a lady with a chainsaw. Come
Oh,
on!
I just got a knife. This bitch got a chainsaw.
Like, already, Ginny is the best character in this franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then, but then she like short circuits the chainsaw somehow. And then she's like, "Shit, run!"
Yeah, no, I'm more convinced that it just ran out of gas.
Probably. Yeah,
They probably.
She was cutting wood earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
and she's just like, "Shit, run!"
Throw it at him.
Eventually, they get to the makeshift cabin that Jason's been living
There's
in.
also another scene, another great scene in the chase where Ginny hides under a bed.
Oh yeah. And then she then a rat scuttles by, and she does her best to not react, but it doesn't prevent her from having a reaction.
She pisses her pants, and Jason sees it.
Yep.
And Jason
he fake leaves, sneakily climbs up onto a chair, and Ginny starts to climb out, and there's Jason with the pitchfork.
but the chair breaks.
The chair breaks before he can do anything.
And so Jason's like, "Fuck!"
I think this might actually be about the point where she gets a chainsaw.
Yeah.
And Jason's just like, "Fuck! That was my one chance."
I broke my pitchfork.
He also breaks through a car.
Yep.
He bitch slaps a car.
Not nearly as impressive as bitch slapping a windshield.
Yeah. So they make it to the cabin.
Ginny finds the little shrine where all the dead bodies have gone to.
Yeah.
Which is a shrine to Pamela Voorhees' severed head and her sweater.
That thing's got.
That's not creepy at all.
That sweater's got to have moths in it.
And she realizes this is the moment that she realizes that this is Jason, and so she gets the bright idea to put on the sweater and start talking to Jason as though she were her mother.
And Jason's confused by this.
Because
he's like,
"Mommy, are you alive again?"
"Well, yes, but actually..."
"Jason?"
"You're all done. Mommy is pleased."
He's confused. He almost attacks her. He's like, "Jason!" It's like, oh.
Oh, I guess I better stop.
I love how they kind of overlay visuals of Betsy Palmer over this.
Apparently, they just asked Betsy, "Could you just redo your role for a few lines?" And she's like, "Okay."
Yeah, pretty much.
Betsy Palmer in the first movie did the movie because she needed a new cover.
Right, I know. But yeah, no, this excellently done scene.
Betsy Palmer still alive?
No, she has passed.
Oh, it's unfortunate.
And now Ginny manages to get Jason to get down on his knees as she raises a machete to.
And then Jason sees
the head.
Yep.
The head.
It's
He's like,
"Shit!"
Then son of a bitch.
Then Paul shows up, and Jason and him.
Well, Ginny does actually manage to clip him in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Well, that's. Paul shows. Yeah, that's the end. But
yeah.
Paul shows up, and he acts as a meat shield for Ginny, basically.
Pretty much.
Because Jason beats the
And then Ginny machetes him in the shoulder.
Jason beats the ever-loving shit out of Paul.
Oh, yeah.
Like, with his bare hands, he's like,
He's got that strength,
yes,
you know.
that specific type of strength that we will not refer to by name.
Nah, he's just strong because he's
Jason.
Yes, it's Jason, yeah. It has nothing to do with his mental faculties or anything, because he was a pretty alright kid beforehand, just disfigured in the face.
Yeah. The
He's got that man-child strength, that's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah. The stuntman got his finger cut in this particular scene when Jenny went to...
Yeah.
Machete.
Yeah. Machete. Jenny macheted Jason. The stuntman of Jason's finger got cut, and the prop that was put on of the machete through his shoulder, so the guy went to the
hospital, full costume, full makeup, machete in the arm.
The doctors just look at him. "Okay, whoa, what happened? What happened with him? You got anything for a migraine?"
Yeah.
So they take the sack off of Jason's head, and they get a good look at his face, which we don't get to see ever at any point in this movie, which is a total ripoff, except for that one scene at the very beginning when he jumped out of the lake. But whatever.
Yeah, he'll never show up.
But
again.
Jason's dead. Jason's dead. And so Paul and
We
Jenny.
haven't got to that movie yet.
Jason's dead. Final Friday.
It's the best one.
Freddy's dead. Final
Wait.
Friday.
What the fuck? No.
There-
That's Freddy's Dead the Final Nightmare.
Yeah. I got confused, okay? Okay. Do I need to bitch slap your windshield?
This is my co-host, folks.
That is also my co-host on another channel. So
I feel
Go
very...
watch our channels.
yes.
I feel very bad for you. I pity you, actually.
I feel quite happy because I get to talk with you guys.
Well,
This is fun.
we appreciate it.
Get out of my fucking face.
I can't.
Damn.
We've been fused together, remember?
Oh, God!
Oh no, it's Megatron and Ratchet all over again!
I don't like looking at that.
I was
That
gonna
is
say it's like
horrible.
Junji Ito.
Well,
Yeah, just
well,
about.
later on I'll show you a picture of what we're talking about, and you might think that looks pretty Junji Ito.
No, I'm good. I've seen enough Junji Ito. In fact, I'm gonna read the Ribcage Woman later today.
Okay.
Just wanna point out anybody who's never heard of Junji Ito. I've explained him before, but just look him up. Just Google him. Google him.
I read one of his stories.
Uzumaki.
No, it's the one with
Ian?
the human-shaped holes.
Oh yeah, the fault. The enigma of Amigawara fault.
Yes.
That is a. Whew. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that's not what we're talking about.
No.
You know. Yeah. No.
So Ginny and Paul, they make it back to the cabins.
That's terrifying.
They make it back to the cabins. Then suddenly they hear a noise.
It's my hole! It was made for me!
That is a line from that story.
It's a meme now, too.
I know. That's how I discovered it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well.
Anyway.
So Ginny's hurt real bad, so she's got to sit on the couch. And
They hear a noise at the door. Someone's trying to get in.
Paul opens it, and it's Muffin.
Well, you spoiled it, but what I loved was the visual of Ginny taking the pitchfork head, just kind of leaning back. It's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
And Paul has the handle end.
Yeah.
Which has like a sharp point.
Yep. Now
They're ready for whatever's coming through the door, and then they get attacked by Muffin.
Killer dog.
Muffin gives them lots of love.
They die of lots of love. Too cute. It's fatal.
Yes.
And then Jason jumps through the window behind them.
We get a full good look at it.
Oh
Yeah. I believe this look actually is really good for him.
Oh yeah.
Like I said.
Like this is what I imagine the disfigured kid from the very end of the movie would look like
As an adult.
as an adult. The end of the movie being the previous movie.
Yeah.
It's like this is yes.
Because, I mean, it makes sense. He's got full-grown hair. He's got an unkempt beard.
He's got a neck beard.
And it's not even like a full, like, because of his disfigurement, there's parts that
Patchy.
can't grow hair.
Yeah.
So, very, very well done. The makeup effects for
And
this.
for some reason, it's never used again.
No.
Let's actually talk about that, because for the rest of the series, Jason's bald.
Yeah,
Yep.
for some reason.
And it makes zero sense why he's bald, unless it's explained in the third movie, or at least hinted at in the third movie.
Which I don't think is the case.
I doubt it's the case.
I don't recall it being explained.
But it makes sense to me that in the third movie, he'd just shave everything. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, maybe.
So Ginny wakes up.
She wakes up being
Yeah.
rolled out
Already,
into an ambulance by the paramedics.
Yelling out, "Where's Paul?"
Where's Paul? Paul!
And Paul doesn't show up.
Paul does not show up.
Which can be assumed that some shit happened.
Yeah. And the ambulance drives off, closing its doors,
and then we get the end credits.
We get a zoom in on the head of Pamela Voorhees.
So in an alternate version, the eyes would have opened.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
they don't.
I'm glad that we don't get that.
Yeah.
You kind of keep expecting it to happen, but it just ends on a freeze frame of it to get that visual without getting the eyes open.
To me, I like it because it just means Jason moves on. He does other things instead of just worrying about the head now.
Yeah.
At this point, it's less about his mother and more about the territory.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that was Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I don't care what anybody says. People say it's not a very good Friday the 13th movie. I say, fuck you. It has the iconic Jason design.
I will admit that this movie kind of takes a step backward in terms of the kind of stories that were being told. Because the previous movie kind of threw out the tropes and had a frail-looking older woman turn out to be the killer instead of the big and then this movie has the big bulking man return. Granted, he became an icon of the genre, so clearly they did something right.
It's because people loved the potato sack. Fuck, God.
They loved it so much they never used it again. It became too sacred.
It became too sacred.
Oh, we can't. No.
Give him a hockey mask. Yeah. Not the potato sack.
No, anything but the potato sack.
That was too scary.
I could just imagine.
What if we gave him a sky blue hockey mask and a purple jumper?
No! He soiled himself with fear!
Yeah, I can imagine the meeting with that. All right, we need a new design for Jason. We can't use the potato sack. It sold too well. Well, what if we used...
a sailor
hat. Hockey goalies, they got those masks. They kind of look a bit scary.
Don't you think that would look a bit cliche? What if we put some red marks on it?
Brilliant!
A man of culture, I see.
You're gonna go far in this business.
That's it. You're hired. You're the producer now.
I was just a janitor. I was just passing through. I just saw that.
You're the producer now.
I just saw this hockey mask on the dry erase board and just decided, this would look nice.
Just
Goodwill Hunting.
No, reindeer games.
What?
Goodwill Hunting had Matt Damon. Reindeer Games had Ben Affleck. The two were like an inseparable pair of friends back in the day, and probably still are.
Okay.
I was just more like the chalkboard scene where the janitor solves the complex equation just casually.
I'm just a janitor. So, what would you guys rate that movie? Not Good Will Hunting, part of the 13th.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen Good Will Hunting, so I'd give that one a 5 out of 10 for not having seen it at all. No, I can't. No, Friday the 13th Part 2, I give a 9. I'd give a 9.
Oh,
8.5.
I don't remember what I gave the original. I think I gave it like a 7.
I will give Part 2 a solid 8.
I'd give this a solid 8 personally. I don't think, I'm gonna reserve a 9 for a movie later down the line because that movie's just so good.
All right.
And you know which one I'm talking about.
I actually don't. I'm honestly not sure.
God damn it, dude. It's the one movie I rave about in this series all the time. But I'll leave that as a surprise, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, this is personally my favorite movie out of the series. Just because, it's fucking Potato Sack Jason. I don't need to say much more than Potato Sack Jason.
Woo!
As my reason why I love this movie. Also, because Ginny's the best final girl of of any franchise anywhere. I'm sorry. Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street, she's great. Sydney from Scream, she's alright. But okay, Jennifer from Phenomena, she nails it.
Ellen Ripley.
She's not a final girl, though. She's a final woman.
She's a full-grown adult. She's like in her 30s.
Sit back down.
Bitch slap! I warned you not to make me bitch slap your windshield!
How could you do this to me? I thought we were friends!
We are brothers! Friendship means nothing!
I mean, that's true.
I mean, we can still be friends as brothers, but it means nothing!
Christ.
Yeah, so that's Friday the 13th, part 2. What do we... Post movie review stuff.
We're gonna
Tank.
go right into the next segment of this video that we decided to introduce last episode, which is...
Tank, how was Raw?
Raw?
Yeah, how was Raw? Was it alright? Just okay?
Oh, after Elimination Chamber?
Yeah.
Well, it was alright, yeah, I guess. There was a Claymore party.
Did Drew McIntyre just literally kill Rowan's gimmick?
He did.
Good!
He did.
That was a terrible...
The giant spider thing. Oh, spoilers, it was a giant spider.
A giant toy spider.
Yeah.
By the way, just to let everybody know, due to the concerns about the new whole coronavirus, because the fucking worldwide conflict, pandemic shit, despite it having less than a 4% death rate, mortality rate, people are freaking out about it because, I mean, it infects faster than the Spanish flu, but it doesn't nearly have the kill count.
No.
But that said, SmackDown's going to be at the Performance Center.
Yeah, because
they banned gatherings of more than 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So there could be several. The Performance Center has 3 rings, so they could have 3 matches going on at once.
They're probably going to exploit it.
Probably.
3-ring battle royal. WCW tried that.
Jesus
Failed
Christ.
morally.
Please, God, don't remind me of World War III, the 60-man battle royal. Fuck that.
That was terrible.
I'm just now reminded of the Tower of Rings from Kaneko Man.
Oh my God! The tower. You mean the?
It's like a ring above a ring above a ring above a ring above a ring.
That's in Kinnikuman.
But that's
in WCW there was the Chamber of Horrors match where electric chair came down and you had to electrocute your opponent to win.
I assume that there were supposed to be air quotes in that.
Yes.
Yes. No, I didn't. It didn't even deserve to be air quoted.
War Games was the best thing to come out of WCW.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the worst design they've ever had was the goddamn
triple cage.
The triple cage where it's a cage on top of a cage on top of a cage on top of the ring. And it's like, Jesus Christ.
You have to climb all 3 cages because the belt is hanging way up top.
Oh my God! That also reminds me of the fucking Hulk Hogan and Macho Man versus everybody inside a giant cage.
Yep.
Inside like a 4...
Doomsday cage match, I think that was
Doomsday cage match, an uncensored, 1996. So it's Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage versus, hear me out, versus the 4 Horsemen.
Ric Flair and Arn Anderson.
Lex
Luger and Kevin Sullivan.
And
Mengen
Barbarian. And then the 2 jobbers, Zeus.
Yep. Or Z-Gangster.
and another giant dude who they when he first showed up, they named the Final Solution.
Yeah, they quickly changed his name
to the Ultimate Solution. So yeah, and Macho Man and Hogan won. Beat everybody.
Well, of course it was
2 against 10 and they won. Holy shit, that was terrible. So, on to the next segment.
The segment that we introduced at the end of last video, which is the recommendation segment, where we recommend something. And since Tank here is the guest, we're actually giving him the floor for this recommendation.
We're giving him the floor first.
Oh, thank you. I'll take the floor.
Damn it! He took off with our floor.
That was some nice carpeting. At least I don't have to vacuum it anymore.
You got tubing. Okay, so due to our podcast here when we talked about a horror film, so I will throw out a few recommendations of other horror films or maybe not as popular horror films as like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, etc. So I would recommend the Candyman franchise.
That's a good one.
The Hatchet franchise, and I recommend you guys give what the hell is it called now? Lumberjack Man a watch. He has only one movie, and let's see what else. I'm hitting a million here, guys. Yeah, I recommend those movies. So
yeah, just give like a brief description of each of those franchises so I can slap the posters up as a demonstration for the audience.
Okay, well, the Candyman franchise is based on an African American man who was a painter, and he fell in love with a slave owner's daughter, and they made love, and they had a child.
That one.
And the slave owner was very upset, got a mob, beat him up, covered him in honey, a bunch of bees stung him, then cut his hand off. Now he has a hook for a hand. And if you say his name 5 times in a mirror, he'll appear, so it's kind of like the Bloody Mary effect. Okay. Hatchet is pretty much a slight rip-off of Friday the 13th, but it's different role reversals. Instead of a mother losing a child, it's a father losing a child that was disfigured and everything like that. He uses a hatchet as a weapon. There's like 4 movies of Hatchet. And Lumberjack Man is it's a horror comedy. It's actually kind of funny. It's pretty much about pancakes.
Sold.
I hate to cut in. I just want to point out. So, today, after the NBA, NHL, NCAA, what else is that? The MLB. NFL has basically canceled their seasons. Now the XFL has canceled their season. And now I'm not happy. I'm not happy.
So,
basically, everything is fucking shut down. Market, folks. March 12th, 2020 is when the world shut down.
And if you don't see Gamma Zillon video, or in the mid-future, meaning a kaiju review. One of us might have the coronavirus, so
we're gonna get a kaiju review out by the end of this month. Trust me.
Well, I just mean future-wise.
If you get the coronavirus, it's not the virus itself you should worry about. It's the aftermath and the pneumonia you might get that you should worry about.
I haven't felt sick for 2 or 3 years now.
Well, you're lucky.
It's weird.
Last month, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me.
So those were your recommendations, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what about you?
Well, I figured we'd really just do one recommendation.
Okay.
But since you put me on the spot, there is a recommendation that I do want to put out because I have been giving it some thought.
Everybody out.
I was probably going to recommend it next time, but since you put me on the spot, I'm going to recommend a manga series. And this is one that my recycled balls actually got me into.
Yeah, okay, I know which one it is.
Komi Can't Communicate. The basic premise is that Shoko Komi is the goddess of her class, of her high school class. All the students deeply respect her. They consider her their queen, their goddess, because of her cool, calm demeanor.
Nope.
And her just absolutely cold rejection of just about anybody attempting to talk to her. Like she's too good for them. Comey suffers from a social anxiety that causes her to freeze up whenever anyone tries to talk to her.
I gotta read this thing.
Yes, you do.
You do, somewhere.
And
it's just the one dude that
just a random classmate who just happens to have woken up from a nap in the classroom alone with her, who figures out what's wrong.
Oh my
with
god,
her.
the fucking joke he says at the beginning. He's like,
I'm just an ordinary guy.
I'm just an ordinary guy. My specialty is I know how to read the room. Everybody's just like, bullshit.
And it turns out to be true.
And he's like, fuck me. Damn it.
And he discovers that Comey suffers from this social anxiety, that she can't talk, and any time she does attempt to talk, it usually doesn't come out as a complete word, or anything that she does actually manage to say either comes out wrong or gets misinterpreted by whoever is listening.
Yep.
And she's desperate to have friends because she's never actually had any friends because of this condition.
Oh, jeez, that's depressing.
Yes, it is. But this is mostly a comedy series. But what I love about it is how it does manage to feel serious when it needs to.
I think my favorite bit so far in the manga is like the first day when they're friends, and he's like, "Well, all you gotta do is ask somebody if you want to be their friend. Hey, I'll go ask some of these. You know which one? I'll go ask one of these girls if they want to be friends."
Don't you dare talk to us about her.
Don't you dare talk about Comey, you son of a bitch, you fucking whore. It's like,
Sounds fucking hilarious.
Oh, it's very good, but at the same time, very touching at times. I will definitely recommend lend you the first volume today.
Okay, doke.
Like, I was gonna wait until you had less on your plate but then I described it, and he's like, well, now I got it.
Yeah.
Check it out.
now you gotta.
Alright, Tanner, you're up.
Comey's the best movie. Comey is best. This year's. I don't have much. Damn, now I got thrown in the spot, and I forgot what I was gonna...
You were gonna recommend Comey too, weren't you, you son of a bitch?
No. I haven't really been watching much stuff lately.
Well, since this was actually something I was going to say earlier when you were griping about how coronavirus has stopped all sports.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, now you have enough free time to watch Zeta Gundam.
Oh, no. Oh, no, work has also gotten...
Right.
Work has also gotten really bad now because the whole building's on lockdown now.
I heard about that at work.
Yeah.
Like, just in
Yeah,
passing.
we're,
So for reference, I work at a retirement home, and they put everything on lockdown, which means no visitors are allowed to show up, and everybody's confined to their rooms all day. So it's going to be really bad.
The bus driver today asked me when I got on the bus, so when is this place going to be closed because of the coronavirus? Like, if it happens, it happens, I said.
Yeah.
We actually took a break from working to just, like, disinfect our work areas. Like, there was a big announcement over the PA system talking about it, telling everybody to do it, and then they played Thunderstruck over the PA.
Oh, there you go.
It didn't last long enough for us to actually finish disinfecting, but hey, for once we actually got music over the PA system. That rarely happens out there.
That's pretty funny.
I was trying to think.
Jason is trying to kill the fiend.
Clearly his machete was pointed at Starscream. Come on.
Fuck Starscream. He's a bitch anyway.
You're not wrong. But he's a, at times, well-written bitch.
Especially in Prime.
Hold on. Go ahead.
But yeah, no, I was actually going to bring this episode to a close.
Okay, give me a second here. Helpful Fox Senko-san. There we go. I don't know if I've recommended it or not.
No.
No?
No, not
It's an
yet.
anime about ASMR, as it were. Basically. But, so this guy, he's miserable because he works all day and he does nothing but go home and sleep, get up and work. And he doesn't have anybody in his life to really look to help him out. So this fox goddess, Senko-san, decides, I'm gonna help him out. I owe him anyways. Or I owe his family, whatnot. So that's what it's about. Just this fox trying to help this dude relax and get all the bad energy out of his life.
Oh, sounds positive.
Yes.
Very positive and funny.
All right.
Cause she's
Metroid's trying to get you.
she's very old.
It's a not.
She's a very old fox, so she doesn't know how to use much modern technology. So you can imagine how that goes.
I feel I should mention that she doesn't look that old.
No,
I haven't watched the series myself, but I have seen images.
it's like Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Some of the characters look younger than they actually are.
Kana.
Yes.
See,
Senko's,
there's you can't see it, but I got Luke as a Kana plus you.
Anybody who's watched any of my videos since Around Christmas have seen her on my set. They may not have realized that it was her, but
have they seen your girlfriend?
no, she hasn't shown up.
No context.
No context, just like before.
Don't.
I'm trying.
Anyway.
Okay. All right, I got it away. Okay.
All right, I think it's about time to bring this episode of ProtoBalls Talk, featuring Tank, to a conclusion.
ProtoBalls Tank Talk.
Yeah, okay.
Sure, why not?
I'm probably still just going to call it, just have it say featuring Tank.
Ooh. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Jack.
Oh, I forgot. I have to click the button.
Yes, you have to click the button to end it.
Should we say bye one more time?
No.
No. Oh.
No, we're
Wanaki
just going to
mas.
end it mid-word. Like